Welcome to DomiNations. My name is Mark, and today we'll do a little review about all past updates in 2020 which haven't been introduced so far on my channel.
A little question sidewise. Do you like my videos and probably value the knowledge I share with you? You would really do me a favor if you would smash the subscribe button and probably ring the notification bell so that you stay tuned for all future videos which will upcome. Thank you so far.
So let's come to update version 8.3, 5 years of DomiNations. So the first bigger update, then the little side notice about banning policy. DomiNations in April 2020, so now when the video was recorded, is already 5 years old. And to celebrate this, Nexon has implemented a range of events, sales and other exciting in-game surprises, which will also cause the game to have, let's call it 5 eras. So the eras are depending on how long you have already spent and you are playing DomiNations. So from really scratch on or only for about 3 years, 2 years, 1 year. And depending on that, the longer you are with DomiNations, the huger the benefits and giveaways during this event will be. Nevertheless, they are also speaking about the event improvements, so they have removed the event levels from the current events which are running, so also for all future events, which will mean that all supply drops which will drop on daily basis down to our base are now equally and with only one level. All XP which are gathered additionally will only float into the general and global ranking for attributes and other big rewards during the events. Also, we have the digital age building upgrades. Upgrade the air defense, which can now be upgraded to level 10. Upgrade the SAM battery and upgrade the spike traps. So let's start right around with the update to banning policy from 14th of February 2020. And I will shortly condense it for you. It's about a more restrictive and punitive sanctioning of cheaters and even cheating alliances by Nexon. So they will be more sensitive if players are reporting players in multiplayer as well as in Worldwar, as well as their alliances who are probably covering this whole cheating situation. And they will even release some punitive measures against those alliances by decreasing their glory count if a flagging. So using cheats is obviously in this case, and players could be deranked in their ages. So far, in April 2020, I can report you that I personally know it's not a lot of situations, but I know some players and even alliances who got already deranked. So it seems like Nexon did not tell us anything which they could not hold so far. So we got all new upgrades for the digital age, and most obviously they did recognize afterwards that the defenses in digital age were quite not matching with offensive powers, and therefore they tried to compensate this by this update. At least we also have the balance change. Building speed-ups can now be used on traps, and some little bug fixes and improvements. For visualization purposes, over here we can see so recently most upgraded level 9 air defense for digital age and the new implemented level 10 air defense with the update. But if there have been any announcements so far in 2020 which sounds like game changers, then those will be covered in the now shown DomiNations 5th year anniversary letter. So first on, let's jump over and quit. We have over here a pretty long history, which has been told about Big Huge Game, how the studio founds, what were the initial intentions, how they started work with only a little team and then got huger and huger, how they invented DomiNations and were completely surprised about the success with this game, that they are currently planning about 10 to 15 years to follow and to have DomiNations actively encouraging it, and at least how they got their name back in some industrial stress and issues with other companies, but nevertheless, that's not what's important. What is really important are the new is the roadmap for 2020. So all plans they are planning to implement, and they are telling that they will tell the story of humankind all the way through the present day and maybe a little beyond. So we get some implicit information over here for the information age, which shall be also implemented in 2020. But let's start from the very first point. Build the mighty parliament, unlocking a new alliance-wide research system where you'll work together to unlock powerful new benefits for all members of your alliance. So most obviously, like plenty of other strategy games also have an alliance-wide or clan-wide research system. I am not sure, and this is not with 100% being sure, but I assume that we will have within an alliance the possibility to stimulate and increase our economic as well as offense and defense measures for all players by gathering huge amounts of resources. And with huge, I really mean huge. In other games, it is huge. So obviously here it should be also too, so that it's not pointless and very easy to achieve. Yeah, and those benefits are then covering or being active for all players which are inside the alliance. That sounds very interesting, and we have to see how many percentages will come from this alliance-wide research. Point 2, progress faster with the ability to request aid from allies that reduces your in-progress timers. So we will be able to decrease the time, like speed-ups, to decrease the time of researches probably, of buildings and upgrades for troops and other stuff in-game, just by simply hitting like the donation request or the alliance request, the alliance challenge button probably inside the chat, and other members are being able to help us with a little amount of time which is getting decreased from the actual timer. So I could think about or what should be possible for me. I assume 1 minute per player probably. So if you have a really active alliance of 40 players, you will be able to decrease about 40 minutes. And that per building and research, which sounds interesting. Probably it's even higher, up to 5 minutes. We don't know. Point 3, become a world-leading superpower with cyclical Worldwar seasons and custom ladder rewards. So that sounds probably like some kind of extra league for the best alliances worldwide, which can battle themselves. Probably it will be even visible and being able to watch for other players, like world championships in football. About this point, I'm not pretty sure how it will affect us. Point 4, study under Sun Tzu at the university to master war and unlock the art of war. So very obviously, we will get a new university leader still in 2020 who will have dramatical increase in our offense or defense abilities. Probably most obviously our offense abilities. Nevertheless, we have heard that this is quite not an economical upgrade, and we will have to wait what percentages are resulting from this new research. But if they are talking about the art of war, that quite sounds like a lot. At least we have point 5, seeds or cites the power of the information age and its new wonders. Okay, over here we have the point, which is referring to the humankind all the way through the present age and maybe a little beyond. So with information age, we are in the right current age of mankind inside the game, and in the future it will probably go slightly even further, having a look to the future. Very, very interesting in my opinion. Below the text, they are also thanking for all the active players, blah blah, and being such supportive for DomiNations. Nevertheless, we have heard the striking points over here. Let's come to the most recent information about updates. It's from yesterday, so 16th of April, and it is about the concretization or the more concrete information about the 5 eras of giveaways. So depending on how long you are staying with DomiNations, those giveaways and bonuses will add up and being bigger. For players who are playing DomiNations now up to 1 year, this will result in antiquity giveaways. for players between 1 and 2 years. Most obviously Renaissance giveaways, Industrialization giveaways for players between 2 and 3 years, Worldwar giveaways for players between 3 and 4, and at least all players who are sticking with DomiNations since more than 4 years will have the most or the highest giveaways Advanced Combat. Let's sum up and have my personal opinion on the recently shown, or better to say, on the most striking aspects of the recently shown updates. First, we have the alliance-wide research, which probably, I'm not sure, but probably can opt out or can be a game changer, similar or equally to the museum, because in all aspects of the game where we can see that individual activity and individual effort you are playing in or putting in the game makes a lot of percentage and decides whether being successful or unsuccessful are really that game changers of DomiNations, which decide whether you are one of the top players, just ranging in the very middle, or are completely inactive and unsuccessful. So it's not the university, it is not the library I meant, it is only partially the university, but most of the success of players is being built inside the museum. And we will see whether those percentages which will result from the activity and cooperation inside the alliance in future will make or will have an equal hard weight to being successful or not in DomiNations. Point number 2, the Alliance 8 request or 8 help, where you can decrease timers of buildings. I'm so far not sure how long is the duration of those decreasing of time. Is it only about 1 minute per player? Is it about 5 or probably even 10 minutes per player? Is it even per player, or what kind of system we are able to request to decrease our timers? Is it only for buildings, for upgrades or researches? But I'm pretty sure this will not be a game striking aspect. It is nevertheless therefore interesting due to the fact that so far we have no methods except for speed up and crowns to decrease timers. We have numerous possibilities such as university to decrease the costs in resources and the costs even in citizens which have to put in researches and upgrades. But nevertheless, we have only a very limited amount of possibilities in game to decrease the time we use or we have to use to do upgrades and researches, and therefore it's pretty interesting to get another method to decrease probably our necessary investment in this valuable resource in our own time. Third point, we will get a new university leader, Sun Tzu, where we will be able to research yet so far another offensively or even defensively, I personally think more offensive related researches to strengthen our own offense. And yeah, so far no information in that direction, but having offense or defense stimulus inside the university always means huge changes in the game balance and in the feeling of how an attack runs or probably even don't run. Striking point number 4, in my opinion, is the newly or upcoming Worldwar season or Worldwar League for the best alliances worldwide, I assume. Let's be honest, so far being high in glory or being a successful alliance within the top rankings is highly related, in my opinion, to cheating, abusing the game, and stretching the borders of what is legal and what is fair as far as possible. And therefore this is a point which is probably interesting for the whole community, and therefore I'm mentioning it. But for me personally, it is just another invitation for players who are being willing to give anything to win, to have their stage in this situation. I hope you understand or understood what I meant. The fourth point I'm not pretty sure about is the information age. I mean, if we have seen so far the progression in how long it took to implement new ages, we could see that with each age The time we have to stay within the age for upgrades got longer, but also the time got longer, which was needed by by Nexon to implement the next age. And this is most obviously due to the fact that the higher we are getting in ages, the more complex scenarios, defenses and offenses are getting. Troops are getting stronger, and you have to get a very, very fine balance to and finally have a stable and funny game instead of having just an overpowered offense or defense. And releasing the new information age will only increase those problems of balance changing. And I'm not pretty sure, but like we have heard implicitly in the post-update, information age should come in 2020. And yeah, I don't know whether I'm happy to hear this, because I have so far even not reached the digital age, and my aim was finally getting to the highest age in the game so far without rushing at some time, and I have never done it. When I was in Atomic Age, the Cold War age came. When I was in Cold War age, the Space Age was released, and now I'm in the Space Age. The Digital Age was released, and most obviously when I will reach the Digital Age at the end of this year, I think, I'm not pretty sure, the Information Age will come. So I will be always some kind of behind. Nevertheless, if the video has was interesting for you, just leave me a comment down below, and probably don't forget to subscribe, give a like, and share this within your alliance or messenger group. Your domination tips.